Welcome friends. In this video we will see procedure to be adopted before making export transaction. We will understand following. Method of export under GST. Detail of export procedures under bond law. Step-by-step approach for export. Documents required. There are two methods export has been defined under GST. Export on payment of IGST. Export on non-payment of IGST. Export under non-payment of IGST can be done under as follows. Export against Letter of Undertaking, LUT. Export against bond with Bank Guarantee. The purpose of bond or LUT is to bind exporters to pay tax along with interest under GST. In the case of export of goods, exporters bind himself to pay tax along with interest within days 15 after the expiry of 3 months from the date of issue of the invoice for export, if the goods are not exported out of India. In the case of export of services, exporters bind himself to pay tax along with interest within 15 days after the expiry of 1 year, or any extended period, from the date of issue of the invoice for export, if the payment of such services is not received by the exporter in convertible foreign exchange. Following person can export against LUT status holder in paragraph 5 of the Foreign Trade Policy 2015 to 2020. Registered person received foreign inwards remittances, amounting minimum of 10% of export turnover which should not be less than 1 crore in preceding financial year. Registered person not prosecuted for any offence under CGST Act or any existing law where tax evaded not exceed 2.5 crore. Any registered person who cannot export against LUT, can export against bond. Steps for export. Step 1. Preparation of bond LUT. Preparation of bond or LUT by exporter in the prescribed format. Step 2. Prepare GST-RFD 11. Filling of GST-RFD 11 along with all relevant details before initiating export transaction. Step 3. Furnishing GST-RFD 11. Furnishing RFD 11 along with bond or LUT to JCA-CDC. Step 4. Doing export transaction. Doing export transaction and creating export invoices with endorsement. Step 5. Furnishing monthly return. Furnishing monthly return with due dates and claim refund of available ITC. List of documents required for export. Specific documents required in case of LUT. Letter of Undertaking, in prescribed format, on company letterhead duly signed by competent person. Certificate of status holder as per Para 5 of Trade Policy 2015 to 2020. Bank certificate or bank realization certificate mentioning that the exporter has received the due foreign remittance amounting to minimum of 10% of export turnover which should not be less than 1 crore. Undertaking or declaration on letterhead that he has not been prosecuted for any offence under GST or any other earlier law. Specific documents required in case of bond. Bond, in prescribed format, on 100 rupees non-judicial stamp paper duly signed. The bond cover amount of tax involved. Bank guarantee of 15% of the bond amount in the name of Commissioner, GST, State Tax, Department of Trade and Taxes, Govt of NCT, New Delhi, valid for 1 year. Common document required in case of bond or LUT request letter containing figure of export turnover of last year or estimated export turnover on the letterhead for acceptance of GST Red 11. Form GST Red 11 duly filled and signed with seal on company firm letterhead. Copy of GST certificate. Copy of IEC code. Copies of returns of all 4 quarters 2016 to 17 or GST R3 of all the month of preceding year. Export bill invoice performer invoice.